Yes, you're the marksman, and Maz is going to be giving you advice. Wow. So, Dream, the only reason you're going to do well, if you do well, is because you're following Maz's advice. If you choke and get shot in the face immediately, it means you weren't following Maz's advice. So it's still your fault, either way. But you won't get the credit if you do well. Jungle Fever. Created by Mountain. Mountain's one of the more common mission makers in FNF. And it looks like it's going to be mercenaries versus Zimbabwe military. Interesting. So that was the beeps from Tfar, because we're going to be listening in game, because this is going to be pretty cool. Since I'm solo shoutcasting, because Barb, I think, has dumped me for doing VR stuff with Sparky. Sad. Oh well. How much would a PC that can run Arma cost? Lamb chops, not that expensive. You only need a decent graphics card that has been released, like, how would I put it? A 930 would be fine. Really, where you want to splurge on is the CPU. Yes, I've played 2 rounds of Friday Night Fights. One where I was just running around with Scandy Recon, and one where I commanded, and I didn't really enjoy either experience, but that's also because I don't... PvP and Arma is not really my thing. Like, I know how to command it. I know what's gonna usually happen before it happened because it's predictable, but... I don't know, like, it's hard for me to get that same thrill out of it that most people try to get, the adrenaline rush. I've gotten it a few times playing Coalition CCO8 when I was just disregarding everything that happened, getting behind enemy lines and murdering like 20 people, but... Oh yeah, well, go ahead. Sorry. So, usually I give it out, but they wanted me to put it in their media channel today instead, so I did that, but I just realized you might not have access to it. So yeah, feel free to yank the multi, man. Don't stream snipe, but I trust you. For those of you who don't know Whale, Whale is the uncle that almost every Arma 3 Twitch streamer knows. He just has that presence. And everyone knows him. Is an i7 9700? Okay, so Zombie, I have a 7700, and it's worked fine for ever since I upgraded from a 6700, I think 3 years ago. So, really, yeah, that you'd be fine. At that point, the only thing that's bottlenecking you is the own pitfalls within the coding of the mods, to be perfectly honest. Arma is not... So that's the sound of everyone jumping into the same Tfar channel. Oh, man. But really, the limitations at this point come from coding, because Arma itself is, what, 2013? So it's an 8-year-old game based off of an engine that's like 25 years old, because it's based off the original Arma Cold War Assault. So you don't really need big technical requirements, but a better CPU does help you out. Funny enough, older CPUs that put a lot of emphasis on the primary core are going to run better than newer CPUs that focus more on better strength across multiple cores, because Arma only runs on one core, because that's how old the fucking game is. It's not optimized to run on multiple cores, because back in the day, multiple cores wasn't a thing. Yeah, you can run Arma 3 on a potato, let's be honest. But otherwise, let's get to the round. So, real quick, let me get the prediction going here. Wait a second, Don already has it. Thank you, Don. Appreciate it. All right. Well, with Don ahead of the game here, let's go ahead and look at the factions, and I'll go ahead and go back to Q&A for you guys. So, Maz is not commanding, he's commanding X-Ray. Where is the ground commander here? I think it's defaulted to Platoon 1 HQ, which is Ghoster. So Ghoster has also come and co-commentated in the past. He was also known as Boston. That was his name when he co-commentated with me and Barb, like way back when, around when Warwick would also commentate. So he's going to be taking this from Platoon Lead. And he's got a pretty good roster with him. So Dream, who is an above-average marksman, even though every time I say that, he gets a bit more of an ego, but he is also an FNF administrator, and he helps co-commentate with me during the EU branches. We got some names out there like Night Owl, Slushy, Green Thumb, Firefly, Staten Bay, Snow Owl. So basically the bulk of FNF's vets, I would say. Slushy, of course, being from TSB. All of these Milsim names here, you see here from the rank of Sergeant, Master Sergeant, and then Not Bay, of course. Why are you bonking me? I haven't said anything horny yet. God, guys, keep it in your pants for a second. The 29th ID is this the group of players that they're from. They are the base community that inhabit the TeamSpeak that we run FNF on, similar to how TSB is the base community for when we run MCO every 3 Sundays, which, you know, this Sunday actually is the next one, the Sisters of Battle operation. Otherwise, we have Tanaka. He is going to be commanding Bravo, and under him are a bunch of people from Coalition, as well as some familiar names like Wiki. Whale we know from a bunch of different communities, but he also plays in Coalition. Benario, which I think he's just subbing in, and Severe, who I also know likes playing in Coalition, who's also from Arma, Finland, which is where that AFI is from. So, we also have Nemesis and Nafs coming in from Scandi Recon to play, and we also have Oleg. I just combined Olaf and G-Legs' name. And Logan, the wild card, also coming into play. They're going to be taking the 1117, which... There was only one listed in the roster. I'm surprised that there's two, but we'll see what they divide their assets on. They are going to be geared up. Let me hit the L key real quick. I see basic U.S. Marines, but some 7.62 weaponry. So a mix of 5.56 and 7.62. I'm not seeing any magnified optics, similar to what we saw in round 1 of the EU branch. But otherwise, it's, you know, just the standard weaponry you see. They did vary the MRZR skins, though. That's pretty cute. And they also have them loaded on some of these trucks that they can take in. So that is very nice. And then we have this, which... I guess this is the thumbnail for the mission. We also have some titties. Excellent. I love it. I'll address everything that's going on in chat after I break down the roster, because I want to make sure you all have the proper information to make your predictions, and we don't run over time. Now, for this... Okay, so they've taken this AO. This is normally a town, and they turned it into some sort of military base with a farm. Really interesting recreation of this AO. Actually, it was I think 2 weeks ago we had a fight in this AO, and they left the normal town. But when you do something custom, it makes this black shade on the map so people know that it's a customized area. And this is where Green 4 spawned. It's also where Sector 1 is going to be. Just a quick note, guys, this is a 2-fight ad sector, so Green 4 is defending 2 sectors, whereas Blue 4 is trying to take those 2 sectors. So... if Blue 4 comes into the sector and is able to knock out or kill everyone in the sector, actually knock out and kill, technically, everyone in the sector, then they'll be able to take control. But as long as Green 4 has someone that is not unconscious in the sector, they will keep the sector under their control. But otherwise, Green 4 is already starting to disperse here. It looks like they are armed with G36Ks, and those are some red dot sights on top of them, so single 1x magnifications. But we're also seeing some 249s, and I would assume they're going to be US kit based. So 249s, the weapon squads would have 240 Bravos, and it's pretty much a 5.56 war. But what I'm curious to see is we saw on the Blue 4 side there was some 7.62 rifles in the form of those 20-round Scars. So are there going to be any G3 rifles, because they're using German battle rifles here? I'm wondering if there's any German 7.62 rifles they're going to be using to pair that. I think we saw that in the weapon squad of Blue 4, so I'm looking at the weapon squad of Green 4 here, and I'm not seeing it. I see the 240 Bravo there, but I'm not seeing any 7.62. So slight advantage going to Blue 4 in the get-go there for having a slightly better caliber for the rifle. It means that they can just get one less shot on the body armor if they're aiming for center mass. But otherwise, here's another thing I want to quickly look at.
No, this is a 12-7.
No, there's a 20 mil.
No, it's a 12-7.
That's a 12-7.
There's a 20 mil hind though.
Oh. No, I'm pretty sure it only there.
No, this if it was a 20 mil, it would be the side cannon. The chin strap gun is a 12.
It's a chain gun
Camera,
30,
which is
Is a
but the side
50
gun
cal.
is 80.
It's the Russian version, which is a 12.7. But they get a chin strapped hind, an unarmed little bird that can only carry 4 people. These 2 Vics, I believe, are disabled because they weren't on the roster. That one looks like has some damage on it, and then this one also has some damage. And then they also had 2 static 50 cals, a BRDM, and then some transport Vics.
Send in Goat Team 6 now.
Green 4's already been deploying a group over here in a 4-wheel drive Vic that can only take 4 people, though. But otherwise, looking at Sector 1, we got a pretty nice AO here. You can also climb on top of this big driller here. Yeah, so they're making this out to where they bulldoze the town, and they're trying to build a military base on it, because this is an actual building, but they took its ruined version and put it down for some cinematic effect. That's pretty cute. But otherwise, Green 4's first sector is this dome and this open field right here. So not a lot of cover around here. I could see maybe one guy finding a way to hide in here, but he would be flanked from the immediate left, so somewhere maybe in this back line. But the real security is going to be in this dome. Maybe they can dig some fortifications because it's right on the dirt, but I could see them really making this a mess to mess for attackers to attack if they're allowed to kind of fortify the interior. So we'll just have to see how that goes. Second sector, which also already has a group of forces coming up on it, is okay. So we got a bridge to connect the riverbed areas here. There's also a bunker right there, and it's got a custom little boat complex here. Nice little fire going, and a little checkpoint here as well. Not really a checkpoint, just a building with some sleeping bags in it, some water being pumped in. That's a cute use of materials there. I like it. I appreciate the small details mission makers put in their missions. It really does touch things up. The trick is how few small details you can put in, because the more small detail you put in, the more framey things get. And it's just that interesting balance. But Sector 2, honestly, is even harder to defend than Sector 1, because you can easily get flanked from these far hills. So I think we're running into another situation that we saw in the first round of FNF EU, where the defenders don't really have good sectors to defend from. Yeah, both sides have no optics this time around for their weapons, minus the marksman, and both sides have some decent vehicles here, but I think Blue 4, they've got better vehicles, they have a numbers advantage, and they've got easier sectors to attack. I think Green 4 is going to have to get really creative with defending the interior of this dome, because they don't really have any other advantage. But if they brought these 50 cals in, which do have the holographic scope, by the way, so that could mean they could try to be more accurate when engaging aircraft, but I digress. It's not going to be an easy one for Green 4.
Send in Goat Team
Now,
6
with all of that said, let's quickly go over the roster, and then I will go over with what happened, chat. Looking at Green 4's roster, since we already dissected Blue 4's, Cardboard is going to be commanding Green 4. He's been one of the newer commanders shining over the past few weeks, but he's been doing pretty well. He's been, I wouldn't say noteworthy, but then again, I don't really focus on commanders winning, so he could have been doing really well, and I haven't been noticing, so all I can point out is that he has been more new to the AOs, but the AOs in the past few months have been pretty interesting, so I'll be curious to see what type of defensive strategy he comes up with. Playing X-Ray, we got Fisher with the marksman rifle. I do recognize the name. I don't recognize him in that position. Lolo's playing as their medic. 4 minutes remaining. They're spinning up to 24, getting that ready. That's going to be flown by Wells and Shoopeless. Can't give you much information about them. I know they do that, and it looks like they just screwed up the... Okay, I hope that doesn't explode and screw them over because of the AoE damage, but that's kind of funny how they already screwed that up, but I digress. You got Vargrant, who I guess is supposed to fly that. Not anymore unless Indigo Fox has a way to fix it, in which case they just select it and then hit X, but I don't know if he'll have the ability to. But looking at the rest of the names, we got the tiered players here, 29th ID members right here as well. Some SOC players here too. Spiky, who is on the multi here as well. And we have for the BRDM, Mountain, the mission maker with Indigo Fox. They are going to, I believe, take the BRDM. Then we got Cheese being the team lead for this Bravo 2 element. And a lot of names that I recognize Adrian, I recognize Schnuffles, Mito too, but that's kind of it for that group. Cheese, aka Tilster, by the way. He's done some pretty cool things too in the past. So I would say out of the rosters, I would put more money on Blue 4 having the slightly better players, but it's also a bit of a risk because we don't know how Coalition's going to do in an FNF mindset. But I can say overall they are pretty good PvP players. They've been doing it for years, so it's a solid bet to say. I would put money on Blue 4 because they Green 4 has really tough AOs to defend. Blue 4 has the better equipment. Blue 4 has slightly better players in my opinion, and it could really swing either way. But I think Blue 4 is going to be able to do better here. Plus, Blue 4 has titties. I mean, you always bet titties in FNF, all right? Titties rarely loses until it wins. But, unless it does is what I'm trying to say. But all right, let me quickly go over the roster here. So, Kelios gave out 5 gift subs. If you got a sub from him, make sure you thank him. Otherwise, I hope you all keep enjoying the operations. I hope you get a nice kick out of this stream. Renreb, thanks for the 200 bits. Zested Lime, thank you for gifting out some subs as well. If you got a sub from Zested Lime, make sure you thank him. And Kamikaze Kid also gave some subs as well. Jared also gave a gift sub out. Whoever gave the 1,500 bits, I appreciate it. Mr. Anonymous Cheerer. And Drew Kuzman, thank you for the 9-month resub. Kelios gave some more subs as well. And J3 also resubbed Kamikaze with the extra 100 bits. And it looks like that is it. And then I have Whale joking about stream sniping. I love it. I hope you all keep enjoying everything, guys. Thank you so much for all that. Sorry I couldn't shout it in real time because I had to cover everything for the prediction so you could all accurately make your predictions down. And it looks like a lot of people are going to bet on Blue 4, so we might see an upset on Green 4. But, I mean, this is kind of looking like how round 1 on EU1 played out. So if you want to dream...
Lego Blue.
You cannot stop me. Let's go Blue. I feel that. Thank you for the 1,000 bits, and thank you for gifting out all those subs. But otherwise, guys, if you believe in dreams, I would put some points on Green 4, but if you want a safe bet, I'd go Blue 4 here. But there's always a chance that something stupid's going to happen. We could see these two Vics desync into each other in the beginning and kill a bunch of players, and that might put the favor back into Green 4, but... I don't know. Tactically, I think if Green 4 can really play with the MI-24, we might see a good upset here. But it's going to be hunted by a double-crewed AH-6 Little Bird with a Gao pod, which is a 12.7 chain gun. So that can easily pierce into the 24 and knock it out of the sky. Have I played Five Nights at Freddy's? No. Oh, is that what you meant when you said FNAF? I thought that was a spell check thing. Actually, that's a lie. I have played FNF. It was for a high school paper to see if an increase in... no, I'm not going to get into that because that actually gets really specific and that paper is published somewhere and I don't want to give out my full name. Anyway, I did for science one time. Don't worry about it. So if I was in Blue 4's shoes, I would definitely piecemeal these two AOs. I would attack one at a time because of the limited player count, but I also would want to keep all my assets together so I could just steamroll the AOs here. We're at about a, what, 80, 90 player thing, so it's only going to be around 40v40, not factoring in the number advantage. So the numbers aren't that skewed in the aggressor's favor. So every man will count for this operation. It looks like they did fix the Little Bird in time, and that is flying around doing recon because it's just an unarmed Little Bird there. I would imagine the armed Little Bird might try to engage it, but where did the Venom go? It's over here, and it has SL Dream in it, so it's going to basically just deploy X-Ray. I don't see any side guns on it either. So it's literally just meant to be a transport and recon, Vic. All right. So you have Vagrant here trying to scout out this movement here. He's getting a lot of good data, seeing that this is where the main force is coming from. And the armed Little Bird for Blue 4 is going to try to come around and swat her out of the sky. Was fear the science? It was related to heart rate, jump scares, fear, and a few medical conditions, but that's all I'm going to get into it about. There's a lot of weird and cool and random shit I did in my past, and I don't want it all. Because I try to keep partially anonymous about this stuff, so... Who knows? But otherwise, the 24 is on a standard patrol around the AOs here. I'm surprised it's not trying to line up to engage Blue 4 coming in if the Little Bird for Green 4 has been doing a good job with reconnaissance. I don't think either side have any AA capability either. It's just going to be all in the form of AAA. So Phasmo is a continued study. I was in high school like almost a decade ago, guys. Well, no, that's a lie. Half a decade ago, little over. It's all ancient history. Yeah, good luck, Winter. You'll find it, but you won't know it's me, so don't worry about it. But no, I was, the stuff we had to do back in the day for, International Baccalaureate for high school. Ugh. Yeah. Either way, so we have the armed Little Bird following the unarmed Little Bird. That's going to give the Mi-24 some room to actually do some gun run should it choose to, because the biggest threat that 24 has is that armed Little Bird. So if Vagrant can keep the AH-6 distracted, we could potentially see the 24 try to get close and do some significant damage to Blue 4 as they move in. But that opportunity is starting to run out as Blue 4 begins their dismount and spaces out to start moving in to take these objectives. And then, yeah, so they have two 117s here. One's going to be solo crewed by Logan, and the other one's taken by Olaf and G-Legs. That's going to be the tactical one. That one's going to be the fucking chaotic one. I'm betting you right now. So Green 4's done a good job predicting that Blue 4 is probably going to do some dismounting here, but this also shows me that people were not paying attention to that one AO. This was the exact same AO done a few weeks ago. And it was a similar attack style too. The attackers spawned down here, but they basically came around and flanked all the way from the north, riding the edge of the map. And Blue 4 is executing that same exact AO attack because, I mean, this AO... There's nothing... There's no better way to do it, in all honesty, because this is where all the high ground is. You don't want to assault it through the river, even though you have a bridge, but that bridge is all open ground. I also like the custom detail they put off to the side of the map, actually. This is really nice. They even have, like, little target ranges and everything. It's cute. I like it. Again, I'm a sucker for those small details. But I'm going to go ahead and...
What? Oh, that's fucking gay.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to go ahead and mute myself because someone just joined the server and is also in the spectator mode. And as you are in the spectator mode, anyone that dies also joins your chat channel and you can hear whatever they say. So whoever just said that, I'm sorry that it was of a homosexual inclination. Please don't say that. All right, so we have Lolo right here. I think he's a scout. I don't know why they'd ever put a fucking medic as the scout, but they just... The medic is always on fucking point. So he's going to be radioing in and reporting how many people are crossing. We'll probably see these attack lines flank around and hit this Blue 4 group. We also have this group that's been deployed via the helicopter. And we have these guys all the way out here, which is a little confusing. I think they were thinking Green 4 was going to do a massive flank around or something. I don't know. But it's a weird choice. Oh, does not Bay know something's up? No. He's gonna walk right past Lolo. He gives it a little bit of a wide berth. Wheaton does it better, and Lolo's just chilling right here. I cannot stress this enough, especially when you're playing PvP and you're going into an objective. You need to have your head on a fucking swivel, because you never know where the Lolos of the match are going to be fucking hiding. All right? You never know. They'll get you. So Blue 4 is doing a pincer maneuver here, coming in from the north and the west. More so northwest and southwest here, but they'll kind of all combine on the western flank. I wonder if this Green 4 group is then going to put pressure on the southern pincer's southern side, and then maybe bring all these forces around, envelop the southern pincer, and then push on to the northern pincer. The question then becomes, can the defensive garrison here stall the northern attack enough for this force to envelop the southern pincer, take it out, and then start moving on the northern pincer, thus preventing Blue 4 from pushing into the AO? If Green 4 can pull that, I think Green 4 could make an upset in all of your predictions. But that's going to require a lot of speed from this group, and Blue 4 is certainly not predicting it, because I mean, we do see a little bit of caution here. I think Night Owl might have seen something. We also just heard some gunfire. But it is just the 117s trying to engage the Mi-24, which is, I would argue, the biggest threat that Green 4 has to Blue 4's advancements. Actually, let me rephrase that. It's the biggest single target threat that Green 4 has against Blue 4's advancement here, but the biggest threat Blue 4 has to deal with right now is the potential envelopment from the south. And Green 4 knows that Blue 4's coming here because of Lolo's actions. I think Dog 4's watching these guys come by, and Blue 4 is not looking right. Snow Owl was, but he's not looking anymore. Or was it Night Owl? Oh, GL going off, and there's the attack beginning. It was a little premature, though. This allows this Blue 4 group here to potentially flank this Green 4 group on the western side. So these 5 guys have to push into this position to put pressure on these guys before they can envelop around, especially if they're being led by Bay, who is one of the best players in FNF and would excel in a situation like this. Might have been a bit premature. I think these guys might have thought that that was the group Lolo was talking about, not realizing that there was a second group. But now it's going to fall to the PvP. We just saw one guy, I think that was T5 Pinto, getting picked off by the 50 cal truck. Okay, if Cyrus has a -1, that's a little awkward. Oh, do they have it set that Blue 4 and Green 4 are friendly to each other? That would be kind of funny. I'll have to check as people kill each other who gets the points. But yeah, now that you have this southern rear group now flanking this attack, I think Green 4 might just shot himself in the foot by prematurely attacking. And now this group is not going to be as effective. Ooh, AT just hit the rear of this Vic, killing the gunner. I'm trying to check. Yeah, no, so Green 4 and Blue 4 are set to friendly. That's really funny. I wonder if they could see each other's... No, they wouldn't have been able to see each other's positions on the map. Otherwise, they would have scrubbed this mission. So yeah, that's... I wonder what the script's going to look like, because they have a script that lets people see how many kills they got and whatnot. But I wonder how that's going to look. So we're seeing Blue 4 setting up smoke. They might try to charge in right here, or at least they're obscuring the vision of this position, which is also a really good idea. Especially if this other flank was ready to push. But I think they're just harassing that position. But this actually just buying that position more time, unless this northern group follows it up by sending forces up to try to get on top of that position and potentially flank it. Meanwhile, this Blue 4 group has now turned around to deal with this Green 4 group. We also have X-Ray coming around on the rear. And I don't see... Okay, no, so the Little Bird is trying to also engage the 24, and the Little Bird might have just gotten on the rear of the 24. 24's firing, but the Little Bird's getting right on top, just got a really nice shot on the ass. Did you see that black smoke that came out? That was some engine hits right there. Now, the 24 has a more powerful engine, so it will be able to get away from that Little Bird should it choose to. That's only if they realize they're also under fire. So Little Bird doing a really good job maneuvering and trying to take out that 24 so it can't openly harass Blue 4 as they come in. But because Blue 4, look at that, they're down to 4 guys here. I think Green 4 might be able to get rid of these guys and then come around, but I think it might be too late at that point. Blue 4 is starting to maneuver ahead of that left flank. We also got a squad right here openly flanking around. I don't think Green 4 has enough to hold as this group gets close, unless Green 4 is able to just take them all out. Not or GDI. That is a debate for another time, my friend. You know, I got into commentating because there was this guy, Spartacus TV, that would do commentary on Command and Conquer scenarios, and it was through that inspiration that I saw Barb streaming this one day back in August, and I'm like, yeah, that looks cool, fuck it, I'll join that. I've been doing that ever since. Whale is playing with Coalition, and Coalition's on Blue 4 right now. Yeah, so these Vics, I think, are just harassing the enemy vehicles here. That Little Bird's been constantly on that 24's tail, so that 24 is going to be out of action if not for the fact that it just needs to be avoiding the Little Bird and not doing anything here. But this Blue 4 flank is trying to push away, so Alpha's folded away. What Green 4 needs to do is follow them and then get on the flank and harass Blue 4 as they push in, but this could still go either way. A lot more Blue 4 died in this attack than I would say Blue 4 would be comfortable with. So Green 4 needs to take these 4 guys out and just push the rear before Blue 4 can break through the small Green 4 line here and come in. But it looks like Green 4 is trying to pull away from this position, surrendering one of their 50 cal guns. And they're going to fold the interior defense line here, and they've already started digging trenches too. Smart. So I think they could hold that for a while as long as they dig another line of trenches or two, giving time for this Green 4 group to come in and do a good flank. But Blue 4 is going to be assisted by that extra manpower that they get from the attack as the attacking faction, and it's some Scandi Recon members with Emzikov's Fatal Puppy Squad. And only Adrian and Zoni are here to cover, but they're unaware of their presence. Instead, they're covering this flank. You're hearing that Gao, I think it's a Gao 21 pod firing at that Mi-24. And that 24 is trying to find a good angle to hit it. Here we go. It's firing so fast the tracer effect can't even keep up with it. And now they're going to try to chase the Little Bird out there. The BRDM is just coming around this sector, not really in any good advantageous position here. X-Ray on the rear also coming into the AO. We are literally seeing all hands on deck here. Cardboard on the rear trying to look over at Blue 4's push here. And Green 4 is now going to close and try to kill these now 2 Blue 4 guys. It's just Warwick and Bay. Peace through power. I see. Nod fan. All right. Oop, little smoke glitch right there with a new ace smoke. But yeah, I think Green 4 is going to close the gap here and push. But again, the question becomes, is it going to be enough time? Looks like Adrian is down. Zoni also going down here. There's a third. Nope, that's a Blue 4 guy, actually. So they might have been able to take him out before pulling away. And now these guys are going to be breaching the tower. Mito's in. Cardboard's run over into the wheat field, so he's harder to spot. I'm not going to put my camera too far in there because that's going to murder the bit rate. And now you still hear from all the way over here that Mi-24 and that Little Bird still duking it out. Even if, at this point, someone wins that fight, I think the support they're going to be able to give after that is negligible. But I would see the Mi-24 being a little more useful than the Little Bird because all this open area around this dome could potentially turn the tide here, but only if that 24 is able to win that fight. It's on the tail of it now, but that Little Bird is doing a really good job trying to evade. And that smoke you just saw was from the gun, not the actual Vic. Little Bird now doing a small duck. and getting right behind the 24. Using its better agility to its advantage, and Bay is running a one-man guerrilla war, but his buddy Sholand here... Yeah, Bay's playing unconscious. Oh my god. So he's a prone animation. He's done Control S because he's leaning right, and he's put his gun into the ground just by turning it, so he looks like a dead body. Because he knows he's surrounded here. That's really smart. So as these guys then regroup and push through, he's going to potentially try to get on their rear. Yeah, Eagle's literally looking right at his direction, and he's unable to tell. He's gone prone now. That's a very high-level play, though, that you would expect from someone like Bay, who just absolutely creams the competition time and time again. He's probably going to get away with that unless Eagle stands up and sees it and decides to double tap. But now you're starting to see Blue 4 breach this compound. This is going to be Grenade City. Not a lot of Green 4 defending. If I was Blue 4, I'd throw satchel charges and just collapse that fucking building. And if they can't, well, you know, at least you try. Then open the door and throw a satchel in and see what you can get. But nope. Eagle's running off. Bay is probably going to wait another minute or two. He's looking around, seeing if it's clear. But yep, they left him for dead. Now, we also have Taurus and Reaper covering the left flank here, but if Blue 4 comes around, they'll get a nasty set of kills here. But look at this. This is... Actually, that's 3 Green 4 guys on here that died. And now you got the Blue 4 Vics coming in. That is one of the 117s. The other one's over here. BRDM's flying around on the rear. And it looks like the 24 won the fight. No, the Little Bird is hugging the southern side. I don't know if he's out of ammo or took an engine hit or what, but he is trying to pull out of the AO. He's not unconscious. But that's going to give some time for the 24 to harass the ground targets, unless it's too fixated with trying to find that Little Bird, which it could very well be. But if that Mi-24 wanted to turn the tide, now would be the time. All right, Benario came in here. He just got double tapped by Cheese corner camping. Again, the kills are kind of skewed because they're both sides are set to friendly. Cheese is getting a lot of bullets in him from Arizona, mag dumping with his 7.62 rifles. Who's going to have better penetration on that door. Now they're throwing grenades in. 24 now firing. I think it's firing at the ground targets here. But now you got Blue 4 pushing up and flanking the guys on the bridge. This could still turn around in Green 4's favor. But they are down to one player, Lennox here, who is bandaging. Llama's also made it in here. If Lennox gets killed, it's going to be GG because these Vics are just going to charge into Sector 2. They don't know that Sector 2 is empty. But that's what you're going to see because Green 4 doesn't have any transport left other than the helicopter. But they're not going to risk a helicopter insert. And can we trust they will not survive? Now you're just going to hit me with nod quotes, I see. Looks like Cheese got pushed on and eliminated in the corner there. Lennox just needs to chill. He doesn't know that Llama's in here. And he's still bandaging. I think it's GG. I think Blue 4 has it. Wow. Lennox just took a lot of nasty hits there. But he's about to get walked up on by more guys. So he might have just won the battle there, but he certainly lost the war. Yep, there it is. There's Sector 1 down. Green 4 completely out of position to touch Sector 2. Yes, I did, Az. That was pretty dope. Why are you bonking me? I haven't said anything horny yet. Willow giving us up to King Fuller. Nice. I hope you both keep enjoying the operations. As always, Willow, pleasure to have you here. And I hope you get a nice kick out of this FNF stream. So yeah, first round. Gonna be done very quickly here. You got Green 4 pushing away, but Bay might try to intercept. Missing a shot on Montgomery. Ooh, now he's being flanked. Bay quickly going prone. Montgomery's gonna push his position. Bay pops a nade. and he goes down. He was trying to get on top of these guys, but these guys were pulling back and he was in the open. I don't think there was any other way that would have gone. You got Carlson pushing behind two guys and takes them both out with that 249. I mean, the 249 is literally just an M4 with a quicker fire rate, you know? Dude, Willow. I love pizza. Don't say that, man. I want to go get pizza if you get pizza. So yeah, now you're seeing Blue 4 load into Vix. Blue 4 doesn't know that that AO is empty, though. Hold up. That little bird's right on top, and they might be out of ammo. 24 doing its best to harass Blue 4 here. And Green 4 has stolen a Humvee. Are they gonna really... I think they're gonna drive right through Bandit Town here to try to get the Sector 2 to put up an impromptu defense. Will, did you just donate $2 in two separate... That's funny. French pizza bread. No, French bread pizza. How does that work, Broadshore? Enlighten me. I think Green 4 is going to be able to set up an impromptu defense here. Because Blue 4, I think, is too focused on trying to regroup to then push into that AO. Oh my god, Logan. Logan's been injured here probably by the 24. This is going to make people kick themselves in debrief, though, when they see that the frickin' AO is completely on guard. But at the same time, how would you know? There's no way you could know, because your air support was just constantly battling. And we now have the 24 flying low here. Is it going for... I think it's landing. Yep, it's got its landing gear out. It's going to go on the ground to defend. It's a poor man's pizza. Pizza, I mean... Isn't pizza pretty cheap in itself, though? Hindsight's 2020. Exactly. Okay, we have Garcia, Kearnshaw, Nielsen, and Montgomery. They're going to be joined by Chupless and Wells. Six-man defense. With 25 minutes left on the clock. Ooh, great shot. Great shots right there. Knocked out one guy, killed another. And a third is down back there, too. It's just, yeah, +1. So he was able to kill two and wound a third. Who was that? Edwin. Good fucking shoot. Oh, he's got the marksman rifle. That's why. I thought I thought he had iron sights. I'm like, damn, dude. Some good fucking accuracy. Yeah, and then you got the two Green 4 guys, because Carlson wiped these two Blue 4 guys with that 249. He's on 3 kills now, unless he killed a friendly. Can't tell. Now that little bird's trying to do some quick strikes here. I think it's, yeah, it's harassing the 24. So yeah, he just got it to flame up. That's going to explode in a few moments, but the pilots are more focused on trying to keep the AO down. Pierce is a really good pilot, by the way. There it goes. Yeah, it can be cheaper, it can be expensive. Pizza, it's all up to you. Exactly. Keelio's going strong with that fucking... with that stuff. Garcia fighting Logan, who is solo in the Vic. Garcia just needs to go, honestly, prone under, but then again, I don't think they have prone launcher redesigned, so they can't fire AT when prone. But he could camp under here and wait him out. If I was in his shoes, I would come around right here, because there's no backblast that would back off because of this, you know, this isn't a wall, this is an open area. And he could just tap it in the face. No, he's going to peer out the same side. There's the AT hit, engine's down. So Logan was able to get one guy killed off. Garcia's the explosive specialist. I'm surprised he didn't run up and throw a satchel, but then again, that is a bit of a far range. Now he's trying to run under here to see if Logan will dismount. He got that little bird training around too. And you have 3 members here and 2 guys there. So 5 guys dismounting, and Green 4 doesn't have anyone in the sector. They're trying to send people around to flank, which, when you have only a handful of dudes left, is something you really don't want to do, but at the same time, there isn't really anyone, like any good spots in this sector to hold other than the boathouse, and the one guy they did have in the sector just got his head blown away, so I can imagine why. Alright, Kernsaw just got fucking annihilated. Yeah, so he's harassing the boathouse thinking they're gonna be in there. Nielsen getting some pretty close shots in. The other 117 coming up. Garcia... And there we go. Blue 4 just took the last sector because no one was in here. Severe, I think, got the official cap. Oh, good try. And now the BRDM that was never fucking used comes in when the mission ends. What was the BRDM doing that entire match, though? Jeez Louise.